Hi everyone, it's Kim. I am back. Sorry for the long pause in between videos. I don't think I was feeling it much. I don't know if I was depressed or what it was, but I haven't obviously made a FaceTube video in a while. FaceTube? Let's say that again. Flosstube video in a while. And I haven't been watching many either. Don't know why, I just wasn't feeling it. And this was meant to be something fun, so I didn't want to push it. I actually made a video a few weeks ago and didn't end up posting it because the whole time I was monotone and whispering because there were people that were asleep in the house and I didn't want to wake them up, but I thought, who wants to listen to or watch a video of someone in a monotone voice the whole time? No. So I decided to chuck that one, and I was actually feeling it tonight. I've got a lot of stuff to go through and thought, tonight's a good night. So the kids are sleeping, the husband is out, so you got me. I don't know if I've been up to a lot. My mom had hip surgery, so hip replacement specifically, so she was staying with us. Obviously work keeps me busy and the kids and, just summertime fun. So I've been doing a lot of that, but I've also been taking some classes and things that I want to show you. So we'll go through those. Also have some finishes, some good news and bad news on that, and obviously haul. So got a lot to get through, so let me get through it. So I'll start with finishes. So I have two, or I should say start with, the good news is I have two. The bad news is they're not here for me to show them to you. So I did finish the Dragons of Sumatra about 4 weeks ago, and I finished it on a Friday night. And the reason I remember that is because I took it to Stitchville for framing, and Deb is usually not there on a Saturday, but she was this particular Saturday because she had a stitching event in the store that day. So I took it in for her to frame right away because I need it in time for the state fair that actually starts this Thursday already, the Great Minnesota Get Together. So I wanted to get that turned in as quickly as possible, and she did get it back to me on time the day we came back from a family vacation, and that was the last day to turn stuff in for the fair. So we literally towed the boat, and this is not a small boat. We towed the boat to Stitchville, which looks pretty funny, grabbed it, and then, came back home, and then I took it to the state fair. Along with another piece for entry. So that's one finish that I will show you as soon as I pick it up from the state fair, which will be after the Labor Day holiday. And then I also finished a piece for an autumn or fall event that I'll be going to, and that I also wanted to mail off to the finisher to get finished in time for that. So I started and finished that, and don't have it here to show you either. So hopefully I will make a video with it in it, so you can see it. I'm excited to see it finished. So it was interesting. I love the piece, but it was tough to stitch through it. I don't know. I don't know what it was. Just I think it was, I enjoyed stitching the Dragons of Sumatra so much, it was hard to pick up a piece after that. But now I've gotten back into a rhythm again of getting back into things. So that's been great. So those are my none to see finishes for you all. I did want to show you a couple whips that I've been working on. One of them is my bus project. Actually, you know what? I'm going to start with something else. So I am taking a class here by Betsy Morgan. So Betsy Morgan is coming to town as part of our Minnesota Needleworks Guild in mid to late September. And there's pre-work. And so I just got it in the mail this past week. So I've kind of pushed everything aside and just trying to get through the pre-work so I can have some finishes for the class. And what she sent were the actual patterns. So unfortunately I don't have pictures of what the classes are. So I'll say what they are. It's a toy chest. It's a 3D object. And then a swan bower, which is also a 3D object. So when I get the pictures of those, once I take the class, I will show them to you, but I can at least show you some of my pre-work. So not that it says a whole lot for you all, but one thing I will point out, so I'm assuming that we're gonna make these two pieces and then cut them out and we're gonna finish them in classes. I'm guessing the objective. But this right here, these are actually all Smyrnas. Yeah, they're not just cross stitches, they're Smyrnas. So, you know, you can watch TV while you're doing it, so it's not too bad. So I have this, and so there are two pieces for pre-work, one for the toy chest and then one for swan bower. So I'm pretty confident I'll have both of those done because I will only focus on those from here on out, except for my bus project, which I'll show you next. So my bus project is a hands-on design, Dream of the Sea, and actually she just re-released that pattern. So the one I have right now, I got through Down Sunshine Lane when she was selling the exclusive kit. And I guess maybe that exclusivity ran out because now the pattern is up for sale. But this is how far I am. And you know, I've been so used to working on BAPs that I'm just happy to be working on some smaller pieces, and I've really enjoyed this. It does feel weird to, I don't know, to do letters like this and have smaller, I consider them smaller points of color. But I've really enjoyed stitching this. And so this is what will actually go in the tray. And the tray, I think, was only part of the kit. And so on her front cover of this pattern for the re-release, she shows other ways of finishing this off. So yeah, so it's kind of a nice stitch. And I've wanted to do this for a while. This was really calling from my stash. I'm kind of curious as to what I'll work on next. Because everything is screaming at me, but this one specifically called out louder than the rest, so I'm wanting to get that done. So that's been my bus project. I've also been working on a couple needlework projects. So I also do needlepoint, and so I would say that's probably in the last month. So I've done needlepoint before, but for whatever reason, I just kind of put it down, and I've been pretty much addicted to cross stitch again, which, you know, is fine. But I was a little bit nervous because I have all this painted canvas in my stash too, and thinking, oh gosh, I hope I kind of feel the need to go back and do some of that. And you know, it's been coming back, so I've been really happy about that. And so I took a class at a shop in Mendota Heights, Minnesota called The Three Kittens, and their designer named Brenda Stoft taught the Astrid piece. So what Astrid is it's a 3D rabbit. It's gorgeous. You'll have to go out there and take a look at it. I don't know if I have a picture readily available to show you. But I'm going to show you what we worked on in class. So I'll show you this and then kind of explain. So isn't that cool? So this is my Astrid, the rabbit. And this literally took maybe 2 full days of the actual class. And what this is it's wool roving. And what you do, it's like needle felting, and you take literally a needle and you just poke at this thing, and you poke and you poke and you poke. I mean, if you've got aggression, this is the thing to work on. But I mean, literally this took 2 days to do, and you needle felt it right onto the canvas. So I'll show you the back side of this, but see that? So you have to make sure that her face doesn't fall. So we were making a lot of plastic surgery jokes and, you know, doing that sort of thing. It was pretty funny. So you had to lay down a base of wool roving, you know, needle felt it down, and then start building up this face. And every time you want to ask her, am I done yet? Because you think you're done. And you're not done. She says, keep going. Keep going. So if I ever felt the urge to ask the question, am I done? I just kept going. Just because I knew what the answer would be. So this took 2 full days. So each day of class was about 6 hours. So this was a 12-hour investment right here. But that's, you want to walk out of that class with this face done. This is probably, or what she would say is the hardest part. Easy for her to say, we haven't gotten to the rest of it. But anyway, I'm very much looking forward to finishing this. I really do want to work on this piece. I actually have her boyfriend too. So she has a boyfriend. She was, and in a couple years, there will be little baby bunnies, and they will be in a cart. And I think I'll have to take that class too. So this is Astrid. So I'll continue to needle work her dress. And like I said, this will be a 3D or a 3-dimensional object. And so there are other pieces of canvas that will be the back side of her dress, and then she'll be stuffed, and then, you know, I'll attach the ears and the arms, and yeah, it'll be something else. So I'm very excited about this and really want to keep the momentum going on this one. So that's that. The other needlepoint piece, so I actually picked up, obviously they have lots of models in that shop, and I have been eyeing these models for a while and just never pulled the trigger, but for whatever reason I got the itch this time, so I pulled the trigger. And it's quick. It's a quick stitch. I've had they probably would have been done, but I've had a couple issues with this, which I'll explain. So these are Frankenstein's feet. So look at how, so these are supposed to be little lightning bolts for Frankenstein. I'm going to put a couple patches on his pants, like felt patches in these 2 areas, and put those down, and you know, so and then I have his shoes left to do. And I ran into a couple issues. So one, the stitch guide that I've been following, because I'm kind of a needlepoint novice, so I use a lot of stitch guides. It called for a different thread that I did not like working with at all, so I had to go back for a different thread. And then there was white paint on here that was not stitched. And so I had to go out and buy black paint and paint over the canvas to hide the white areas, because I think it would have shown through the black and would have looked funny. So I had to paint that. So now that I have, I think, all I need to finish, so now I just have the shoes and attaching those patches and a little stitching here, and I'll be done. I mean, this was quick. This was really quick. So yeah, I'm excited about it. And then I picked up a couple other pieces of canvas that have witches' feet. All right, so that's the needlepoint. So in my last video, I forgot to show what we did in Jackie Duplessis' class when she was here in May. And so I want to make sure that I show that to you all. So it's kind of a sad thing, maybe, when you look at people's class offerings and you're like, got it, got it, got it, you know, haven't finished any of them, but you got them. And so that was the case when she came here. There were a couple pieces I already had, but this one I didn't have yet. This one specifically is called Contented Hours. And here's the piece. So it's a little, as you can see, a little basket. These flaps open, and then you can stick this, it's not quite a needle roll, but a needle keep, and you can stick it in the basket, and I just love it. I mean, here, I'll show you the silks. Oh, the silks. Look at, aren't they lovely? Aren't they awesome? They're beautiful. Yes. And so, speaking of Jackie, I'm very happy to report that I will be going to the Sampler Symposium in Mesa at the Attic Needle Workshop in January, in which Jackie will be teaching a couple classes. One of them is a one-time class, so primarily because of the supplies. So there's this beautiful anniversary basket, wooden basket, that she bought years ago, and she bought all they had. I think it was, you know, around 44 of them to be exact. And she made a piece just to go with that basket. And so she's only teaching it once because she's only got 44 baskets. And so when it was time for sign up, I literally crossed off time on my work calendar so I would not be disturbed. Had the email already prepped and ready to go for sign up, because it was like, you know, and I'm making up the details, I don't remember what they were, but it was like, you know, send me your registration opens at 8 a.m. on such a date. So it's 7:59, I'm waiting for my, you know, my clock to flip, and I hit send, and I mean, the class was sold out within a minute. Everyone had their finger on the trigger for that. So I'm very excited to go to the attic, and then Nicola will be there as well, teaching one of her samplers, as well as a couple others, in addition to Jackie's. So I'm very excited to go to that class. So yeah, and I'll definitely have to show you those. But if you all are curious on what they are, atticneedlework.com, she has her newsletters posted on that website, and if you look at her most recent newsletters, you will see those on there for the class. Okay. So now on to haul. So I have a little bit more haul than usual, obviously, because I haven't filmed in a while. And, you know, I'm kind of wondering, like, am I buying more because I'm depressed? You know, kind of back to what I was saying at the beginning. I don't know. Because where I keep my stash, the area is just, like, growing and growing, and I'm getting kind of nervous. But I've really enjoyed stitching smaller pieces, especially after Dragons of Sumatra. You know, like I said, I'm stitching this and it's going so fast. And I'm like, this is how people get through their stash, by stitching smaller pieces. I need to do that. So, you know, at some point, and I'm thinking it'll be later this fall, I'll probably do like a fall mania. So I'm going to kit up, just especially, I've got a ton of Plum Street sampler patterns. It's almost embarrassing. And a lot of those stacks, those animal stacks. And so what I might do is get project bags for each stack, and then do those as kind of a mania or something like that. And then they can exit the stash. It'll be great. So I ordered some fabric for those. Hopefully the fabric will work out. You know, it's always a crapshoot when you order it online, so I'm a little nervous about it, but you know, I have so many projects, I'll probably find another need for the fabric elsewhere, so we'll see what happens. But I'll show you some of my stash that I got, and I'm looking forward to getting to. And you know, I'm also probably going to try and not buy as much. I know, haha, that's really funny, but I've got to buckle down and get serious. I mean, this is getting out of hand. So now when I buy something, it'll be, you know, maybe it's out of print or it's a limited edition or whatever it is. Because I just can't. So anyway, one thing that I had ordered was from Not Forgotten Farms, Sit a Spell. Love this. And I actually ordered it directly from Not Forgotten Farm, and so they also sell the chairs. See? Chair. I know Tomorrow's Heirlooms, they're making their own chairs for this, which I thought was great. But, you know, I know the husband, I believe, of this team, he made these specifically out of the wood around there, so I don't know. I just got this one, but the other chair looked awesome too. Maybe you need 2 chairs. I don't need 2 chairs. So I got that. Also from Not Forgotten Farm, I got this. I thought this was cute, so, you know, had to pick that up too. I'm a big Halloween junkie if you haven't figured that out yet. Then there was an opportunity to get one of the Mirabilia Thanksgiving Harvest Fairies. These were, I believe, a limited edition kit. I'm not a huge Thanksgiving person. I mean, I'm sure as most of you see out in retail space, it goes from Halloween to Christmas. You know, I kind of gloss over Thanksgiving too, but I really love her. So when she was put up for sale, and because she's a limited edition, and I'm not sure many places carry her anymore, and she was obviously sold at a discount, so I picked this up, and it comes with all the threads too, so that was awesome. So I picked that up. And I also picked up a few charts from Shakespeare's Peddler, and Teresa will be at the Midwest retreat this fall. I'm very much looking forward to meeting her. So she and I are from the same small hometown. And so she is no longer there. I am no longer there, but I'm excited to talk to her about it. So she had a limited edition kit called A Little Rag, and I'm sure, you know, other floss tubers have shown this, but she did a second run of this kit, and so I was very excited to pick this up. And please hold, I need to just turn the timer off on my oven. Be right back. That's real life, people. I am making some granola for my mom, so just bad timing when the timer went off. So I'm very much looking forward to doing this. It's so simplistic, it's beautiful. Especially love these buttons down at the bottom as well. Those are great. And of course, since things can't travel alone, as people are saying all the time, I also picked up this. Sarah Chappelle, 1831. Look at how beautiful that is. So I'm very much, I'm into samplers now. Don't know why. I know why, because they're so pretty. Oh, and I forgot to show you, so on the back of this, oh, it's so gorgeous. All right, I also picked up a couple pieces, so Willow Hill Samplings was having a free shipping deal on their Etsy site. And excuse me and that noise, the dog. We had to take the dog to the vet today, so still some lingering issues. And she's fine, I promise. The Boston Tea Party I picked up. This was from her Etsy site for Willow Hill Samplings. And then I also picked up this one, the Pennsylvania Dutch Sampler. So on the Prim Society, they just had their retreat. And I really wanted to go, but it wasn't a good time. There's just too much going on. But in the video that they had shown of some of the like merchant areas, they showed this piece, and oh my god, it was amazing. So of course I was scrambling trying to figure out, you know, who the vendor was, because they didn't show on the video who it was, and finally figured it out. So I'm happy to get that one. All right, and then a couple other charts that I got. The Perky Peacock from the Work Basket. I just love those colors. I love peacocks. I love tulips, so this worked out well for me. And then I saw this on someone's Flosstube video, and I think it was Pam and Steph for Just Keep Stitching, but it was called I Love Moo, or by I Love Moo, the Americana Trio. So I was looking for this one, and specifically, look at that cow. So I don't do a ton of patriotic designs. I love that cow. And to keep the theme of the cows, and so nothing can travel alone, had to get Bent Creek's cow. I think I have a couple of the others, like the pig, and yeah. So I'm excited about that. And then I also ended up getting Lizzie Kate's Pair o' Pilgrims. And this is just the chart, so this isn't a kit or anything. But I found it at a bookstore online in Wisconsin. I don't even know what it's called, but it's a bookstore that carries cross-stitch charts, so who knew? Again, Thanksgiving. And then I also picked up the Halloween Sampler by Cottage Garden. So obviously this was at one point going out of print, and then no longer is going out of print. They reprinted these, so I picked this up. It was on the wish list for a while, and you know, then they say out of print, and then you gotta scramble to find them. So maybe that's why I buy them all, because they go out of print otherwise. The last thing I wanted to show was I did get another project bag, because I'm the project bag collecting queen. And this is from Mama Joan, and oh, look at those bugs. So I wouldn't necessarily freely go up and knowingly go up and touch a bug. Wouldn't do it. But I just thought that that was the cutest thing. I know some of you might be appalled because they're bugs. And then the back are, I believe these are chrysanthemums. So, flowers, bugs, bugs, flowers. So at any rate, I think that's all I had. I'm trying to think if I had anything else left to tell you. I guess if I do, I will keep it until next time. And next time I will be able to show you the outcomes of the Minnesota State Fair and how I did. I'm curious to see, every year the stitching area seems to dwindle, like cross stitch specifically. So I'm hoping there was some sort of resurgence in that. I don't know if it's hoping too much. But I'm very much looking forward to seeing all of the wonderful and beautiful things people have stitched. So anyway, I am still here. Thank you for all the shout outs, you know, in my absence. Farm Girl, as well as Just Keep Stitching, have done wonders for the subscriber numbers that I have had. So thank you so much, and thank you for watching, and happy stitching. Bye.